But let's now talk about all of the cues that you should track as we get into a brand new trading session and a brand new week. So we have our research team joining in with what the trade setup looks like and everything that you should be tracking in terms of individual stocks as well. Nigel, Vivek and Vahishta all join us now with exactly that. Guys, a very good morning to all of you. And Vivek, let me come across to you first. We've been going through the global market setup, which definitely looks quite weak after the jobs report. But take us through what we should track.
Well, good morning. It appears that this particular Monday you could begin with a deep cut as far as the Indian markets are concerned. When you're talking about the global handover, as we've been mentioning, the global handover has been extremely weak. Most of the US markets ended with cuts between 2 to 4%. In fact, the Nasdaq ending almost 3.8% lower. This is on the back of the fact that the jobs data actually came in much better than anticipated, and this has led to worries that the rate hike tightening could continue on the aggressive path that the Fed has indicated. On the back of this, you actually saw both European markets also go down quite sharply. And in fact, if you're talking about oil prices, another worry as far as India was concerned, rose quite significantly, rose almost 3% to a 5-week high. And this is something that Indian markets would have to be a little wary about. Now, when you're talking about the oil prices were buoyed by the decision earlier last week taken by the OPEC Plus to actually go ahead and make the largest supply cut since 2020. The US Treasury yield too gained almost 6 basis points on the back of the strong jobs data as well. Now, when you're talking about the Asian markets, remember, a lot of Asian markets today are shut for trading. Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, and Malaysia, all of them are closed. China has begun trading after a 1-week break, and Australian markets too are starting trade with a deep cut. The SGX Nifty too indicates that Indian markets are expected to begin trade on a very weak note this Monday morning.
All right, Vivek, thanks a lot for getting us all of those cues. Yes, it looks like we're going to get a gap down start at the opening for the Indian market. So let's see how we really move from there. But let's now also talk about the individual stocks that you should keep on your radar today. And Vahishta is standing by with that entire list. Vahishta.
Hi, good morning, Pavitra. The first stock is IDBI Bank, where the government and LIC shall together be divesting 60.72% stake in the bank. The next stock is Suzlon Energy, where Dilip Sanghvi, who's an investor in the company, shall fully participate in the rights issue. Next is IGL, wherein the company has hiked the CNG price in Delhi by 3 rupees per kilo to 78.61 rupees with effect from the October 8th. For Bandhan Bank, the Q2 update is out, wherein the advances were up 22% and the deposits were also up by 21% on a year-on-year basis. For Hero MotoCorp, the company has launched its India's first fully integrated electric scooter. Also talking about another auto stock, which is Tata Motors. The retail sales of Jaguar Land Rover in Q2 of FY23 stood at approximately 88,000 vehicles, which means that it was higher in China by 38%, in North America higher by 27%, and overseas was also up 14%, but was lower in UK by 7% and was lower also in Europe by 10%. The next stock is Jayaprakash Power Ventures, where there's going to be a board meeting to be held today to discuss the divestment proposals for the Nigris cement grinding unit. And the last is Lupin, where Dr. Kamal Sharma, who is the non-executive VP, has stepped down from the board. This is with effect from October 14th, and Dr. Sharma was on the board for a long period of time, which is 19 years.
All right, Vahishta, thanks a lot for taking us through all of those stocks. We're going to keep all of these on our radar. Also, watch out for TCS, of course, and the entire IT pack, because we will be getting earnings from TCS post-market hours today. So with that, let's also move on and talk about the FNO cues that you should track. And Nigel is here with exactly that. Nigel.
Well, morning, Pavitra. We didn't end very much lower, actually, in Friday's trading session. The problem was the data that came post-market hours. The FIs, they sold big time, more than 2,000 crores odd. And with that sell number, after buying for 3-4 sessions, well, we are seeing a negative flow for the month of October. So that's the kind of ferocity with which they sold on Friday. The DIs, well, they tried to offset, but only around a fourth of what the FI sold is what they could do, roughly around 500 crores of a buy number. On the index futures, well, the FIs, they added longs as well as shorts, and they continue to remain net short on the index. Close to around 80% of their positions are on the short side. Now, on the option side, well, 45,000 seems to be the key reason. Where they are talking about them buying calls and puts, it was roughly around 45,000 a piece. Even on the writing side, it's roughly around 45,000 a piece. No big directional move is what you're seeing with regard to the options data. The broad band for the Nifty, is at around that 16,950 to around 17,500. 17,500 is going to take a big effort actually to get past that level, because we almost went out there in the past week or so. And also crucial resistance zones come out there, the 20-day MA, the 50-day MA out. The hope is that even though we have very weak global cues, we managed to hold out onto that 100 to around 200 DMA odd. The other data points that are coming in, whether it's with regard to Brent crude or even the dollar index, they are making me a little bit cautious. So I think the crucial factors, stability on the rupee, if that comes about, then maybe this trend will reverse. Otherwise, at higher levels, even if we see an intraday bounce, my guess is that it gets sold into. SGX Nifty suggesting a big gap down of around 250 points odd. Back to you.
All right, Nigel, Vivek, as well as Vahishta, thank you very much for joining us and prepping us up for this new trading session. With that, it's time for our first short break on the show. But up next, like we told you, IT giant TCS will report its second quarter numbers after market hours today. So we're going to tell you everything that you should expect after this short break.